Next Friday cannot come fast enough because then I can listen to that beautiful soundtrack over and over again.
All of the deep end, watch as I dive in. I never meet the
Servus Freunde, my name is Jimmy Cage and A Star is Born is every bit as incredible as the early reviews have promised. Today I want to begin my review with the very ending of the film, and don't worry, of course I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I can say it very much exemplifies what I loved so dearly about the whole film. The last moment is both big and loud and highly energetic, and at the same time it's also intimate and personal and very soft. That's A Star is Born in a nutshell for me. This giant musical experience with a lot of concert scenes, guitar riffs, catching melodies, and of course those full, powerful voices of both its lead actors, and yet the film is all about that very sweet and loving relationship between them. It's a film full of close-ups that let us be part of its story and characters, and also big shots full of lights and colors. A Star is Born is a drama about love, music, talent, and personal demons. It is the directorial debut of Bradley Cooper, who is also starring in it, alongside the one and only Lady Gaga. And it's also one of those exceptions where no one is really complaining about the fact that it's a remake, because it is brought into our modern day in such a strong and yet seemingly effortlessly way that you don't really care. There are several remakes that are better than the original, and I bet this is better than some of its predecessors, because A Star is Born isn't just a remake, it's already the fourth one. The first movie was titled What Price Hollywood and was directed by George Cukor in 1932. William A. Wellman's Technicolor A Star is Born was released in 1937, followed by the 1954 version starring Judy Garland and James Mason, which was again directed by George Cukor. That is also the only version that I know, but it has been a long time since I saw it. Then there was another one in 1976 starring Barbra Streisand and Kris Kristofferson, and now we had movie number 5 with Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga in the leading roles. The story itself hasn't changed that much, and it didn't need to. It's a story about a seasoned artist who discovers and falls in love with another artist. Bradley Cooper plays Jackson Maine, a successful musician but also an alcoholic and drug addict. The film opens with one of his concerts and follows him then into some random bar because he needs a drink. It's there that he stumbles upon Ellie, played by Lady Gaga, a young singer with an incredible voice, and she even writes her own songs, though she's not comfortable enough to perform them yet. That all changes when Jack enters her life, and his life changes because of her too. I think the film succeeds in pretty much every way. It's a deeply moving love story, full of sweet moments and simply endless chemistry between the two. I'm normally not the best judge when it comes to chemistry in movies, but those two are incredible together on screen, especially when they are both performing. Of course, this is where the whole musical angle unfolds, and when I said I can't wait for the soundtrack to come out, I definitely mean it. I was always a big admirer of Lady Gaga, and by now people should know that she's not just a good pop singer, but someone with immense talent. And she's great on the piano as well, which is also featured in the film. Many people will say that they are very surprised of her acting chops, and I can say that I was, because I simply already heard the raving reviews and I didn't doubt her for a second. And yes, I can confirm she's gorgeous in every single moment. They really bring their journey and love story across. At the beginning she's still rather shy and self-conscious about her looks, especially her nose, which is a bit bigger than the beauty ideal, I guess. And maybe some people might say, what's the fuss all about? But I still remember that old friends of mine always thought she wasn't a very pretty woman, mainly because of her nose. And I was always in the camp of people who thought that she's incredibly beautiful, and I'm happy to say that there's some nose porn in the film.
feel like I'm dying.
This might come across as a bit superficial, but films and cinema, especially Hollywood, aren't just about great stories and characters. More often than most like to admit, it's also about beautiful, charismatic stars that you want to adore in a voyeuristic manner. And some actors and actresses we simply find more attractive than others, and Lady Gaga is someone who I just enjoy so much to see and hear on screen. That alone wouldn't be enough, of course, but the film really made me, as an audience member, fall in love with her, as Bradley Cooper's character Jack did. But I was talking about her journey and her transformation into this big superstar that she's becoming in the progress of the story. She starts out as just this normal young woman, and she basically becomes a Lady Gaga-like superstar in the course of the film. but without ever losing her loving and caring nature, without losing her bond to her father, played by Andrew Dice Clay, and of course the affection she has for Jack. And I couldn't help but develop a deep man crush for Jack as well, or I probably just loved them both together so much. There's one small instance where Ellie and Jack are on the road, and the movie just includes one tiny little scene of them together at a gas station sharing a kiss. It's just a little moment, but it transports that genuine relationship between them so well. A Star is Born is a very emotional film, and while it's also quite sad, especially in the second half, it never feels particularly heavy. It gets very dramatic and I was crying, but because of its grounded and intimate nature, it never felt forced or as if it would push you down. Maybe this is best shown in the character of Jack himself and the performance by Bradley Cooper. He's at a turning point in his life and constantly torn between his inner demons, his drinking problem, his health issues, and yet he's still able to shine and be creative and loving and all of those things too. I thought Bradley Cooper did a terrific job here, both as an actor and as a director. And I just realized this was where I wanted to continue before when I talked about Lady Gaga's acting skills. Because with Cooper it's the other way around. We know that he's a pretty good actor, though I think he was never as strong as he's here. But what about his skills as a singer and also as a guitar player? To make it quick, they are great. But what's best is probably his normal speaking voice, which one can almost drown in. Jack is from Arizona and he has that constant growl in everything he says. In general, A Star is Born can be called the movie with the awesome voices, because alongside Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, you will also get a very nice portion of Sam Elliott, and some Dave Chappelle flavored in as well. And speaking about Sam Elliott, there's another small little moment that is so exemplary for the film's wonderful direction. Cooper and Elliott play brothers, hard-boiled, cowboy-like, rugged men who probably don't share that many emotional words with one another. At one point, Jack is apologizing for something he said earlier. There's no spoken response from Elliott's character Bobby, but the shot is just so framed that he turns his head to the camera while moving back with his car, and you see everything you need to know in his face. Again, this film is both big and grand and yet so very intimate and personal, and right now it's probably my favorite film of the year. And coming back to the music one last time, it's also a film about extremely talented people, and the ability to sing in a way that touches people is one of the greatest gifts. And when we see something like A Star is Born, we want to be blown away by the musical performances, and at least I absolutely was. A Star is Born is like Once combined with La La Land, and I loved it. So in German I'd say A Star is Born hat mich absolut begeistert. Bradley Cooper liefert ein unglaubliches Regiedebüt ab und er und Lady Gaga sind zum Dahinschmelzen. Der Film ist berührend, mitreißend, groß und opulent und gleichzeitig ganz nah und menschlich. I give A Star is Born 9 out of 10. It's more like 9.1, but I don't do that.
Don't worry, I won't tell anybody. But I'm not very good at keeping secrets.
Alright, that's it like always. Comment below and let me know what you think about A Star is Born. And also let me know, do you know the other versions of the material? You can hit me up on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram simply at the Jimmy Cage. And if you enjoyed this episode, please give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, whatever you like. And make sure you hit that bell for Life to Tell.